From Tampa Bay streaming news leader, this is ABC Action News.
Hello, I'm Wendy Ryan. Chief Meteorologist Dennis Phillips has Florida's most accurate forecast in just a moment. But first, here are your top stories at this hour. More high-rise buildings potentially coming to Siesta Key, but the plans are facing some backlash. For decades, Sarasota County's comprehensive plan limited buildings to being 35 feet tall and having a density restriction of 26 units per acre. But now county leaders have been rethinking this to welcome larger hotels. While some residents are in favor, the group 1,000 Friends of Florida says sea level rise in this vulnerable area could negatively impact future residents financially. Meanwhile, a 5-truck crash on I-75 in Hernando County today caused minor injuries but major traffic headaches with cans of beer all over the interstate. Just a huge mess that had front loaders crushing those cans and moving everything to the shoulder for hours. Eventually, traffic was able to pass on the other shoulder. And a setback today for NASA's attempted return to the moon. They discovered a leak in the Artemis 1 rocket during a cryogenic tanking test. You'll remember, leaks spoiled the first 2 scheduled launches just a few weeks back. The earliest window that Artemis could be ready for takeoff now is on September 27th. And now here's Chief Meteorologist Dennis Phillips with Florida's most accurate forecast. Dennis?
How you doing, everybody? Fall officially begins on Thursday, and we're going to have fall-like weather, mostly dry on Thursday. I don't expect any rain other than maybe 1 or 2 showers try to pop up. There will not be many. Friday, a few more later on in the day, and then by the weekend looking pretty good too. At this point, the tropics are our biggest weather story. Whether or not this area will impact Florida, it could, might not. I do think it's going to go in the Gulf of Mexico, though, by early next week, and at that point, there will be landfall somewhere, and probably at this point, the best bet would be Louisiana eastward. So that's a big window. Does not mean it's set in stone that Florida is in the crosshairs, but certainly something we will have to watch as we head into the weekend and into next week. For the boaters, north winds 5 to 10 knots, water temperature 87 degrees, sunrise 7:19 on the first day of fall. The beach, that is a great beach forecast. Sunny all day long. Highs in the 80s. Florida's most accurate 7-day, maybe a few showers on Friday, and then only about 20 or 30% coverage into the early part of next week. By the middle of next week, it all depends on what likely would be Hermine.